Hey, our first guest this morning joining us from Florida, where he doesn't have, that extra freezer out in the garage, most likely from Mother Nature. Perhaps he has a real one out there. But Howard Dvorkin joins us, serial entrepreneur, author, and finance expert, community service champion, as well as chairman of Debt.com. Good morning, Howard. Hey, how was your Thanksgiving, Howard?
Good morning, Glenn. Thanksgiving was okay. I'm going to be heading to the gym in a bit and try to work some of that off. But just to correct you, it's got to be at least 65 to 70 degrees out here in Florida, down here in Florida. So,
no snow for you.
It's not the typical Florida day. It's a little on the chilly side. Nothing like what you guys have.
No, you got to put an extra sweater on down there today. So very good. Well, working off the calories we know can be a little bit of a challenge after Thanksgiving. And, you spend a little bit too much on the holiday shopping, and working off some of that debt can be really, really difficult as well. And, just a few sit-ups won't do that. And so we're going to talk about not getting there in the first place here on this Cyber Monday. But as we launch into that holiday shopping season, maybe for some over the weekend or today, what are some of those wise ways to start that process, Howard?
Well, the first thing is, holiday season is great. Lights are out. People are generally in a pretty good mood, and merchants are offering deals, so to speak. But eventually it comes home to roost, and you start getting those bills in early January, and you're going to be scratching your head saying, "How do I pay for this?" The key is planning. And not to take out the fun out of holiday season, but you got to be pretty specific in what you want to buy and who you want to buy for. So the best thing is sit down, write a list. And it was interesting. I met a friend of mine. She showed me her holiday list, and it was all on a spreadsheet where it mentioned the person's name, what she wanted to spend, what she wanted to buy them. And you know what? She says, I'm doing this all online, and I'm sticking to it, and I won't be influenced by the Christmas music, by standing at the cash register with other incentives to try to make me spend some more money. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to sit down on Cyber Monday, which is today. Happy Cyber Monday, Glenn. And certainly go through. And she is going, probably as we speak, she's doing that. And that's the smartest way to do things. Plan out and stick to a budget. If you could use cash, use it. If you have to use credit cards, then use them. But make sure you can pay those bills off this year. This year is going to be particularly harder because Debt.com did a survey, and we were talking to 1,000 people, and a lot, 66% of them plan on taking extra holiday debt on, which is a really high amount because they're already in debt because of the high prices that they've been paying for the last couple of years, and they're just going to add to it. Now, we also have, consumers have a little bit of a problem, Glenn, with the challenges of AI-driven marketing, meaning, you might be buying a pair of shoes, and they'll say, oh, these pants go with it. But it's even more involved. They are sitting there looking at your past purchases or what you've been looking at online and researching, and they're going to throw it in your face right about now. So the AI is very helpful, except it's going to make America broke by the time they're done with us. So you got to be very, very careful of not being influenced by technology to buy certain things that you don't need. I thought that during our survey, as I said, at Debt.com, We surveyed 1,000 people, and we said 66% of the surveyed people plan on taking out more debt. Another interesting fact was 2 out of 3 respondents were going to use credit card and something relatively new, buy now, pay later services, which means you could buy it now and they induce you by saying, oh, you could make the payment and not get charged anything or not pay any interest, and you could make the payment over 4 years. But the fact is, they already know people aren't going to make those 4 payments. They're going to default. And you got to be very careful, because this is just another form of high interest to be charged to the consumer. And we've never seen this. And now they're saying, oh, I'm going to use this. This is just another credit card with extremely high interest in that will be charged. So that is challenging. 88% will use credit cards. And as I said, 69% will use both credit cards and buy now, pay later deals, and try to stay away from those. The surprising thing is 1 in 4 say they expect to take on at least $900 in debt to cover holiday expenses, which I thought was a very large number. Usually it's a couple $100, but now people are so tapped out because of what has happened in the economy. They're turning around, Glenn, and they're putting their entire budget on credit cards. So that's not so good. You got to think and shop strategically, search online. They make it easy. I remember my sister running around from store to store trying to get the best bargains when I was growing up. But now you could just sit at your kitchen table with a laptop or a computer or even your phone and take advantage of the best deals, and you could search online for those. Try to figure out where to find coupons, cashback apps, store loyalty programs. Combine these with the credit card rewards. A lot of people, there's billions and billions of dollars sitting out there on credit card rewards that people have not used and probably won't use. Be careful, because sometimes those expire. So try to use all of them as much as you possibly can. But at the end of the day, Glenn, people need, and this is important, people need to go back to the basics. They need to go through and remember what the holiday season is all about. It's not about buying Junior a present. It's about getting together with family and friends. It's about taking on the spiritual side of the holidays. Get reconnected with God and all that. You know, you can't lose track of that. But there's so many influences out there that it's sometimes hard to remember that.
Well, that's something that we want to help folks stay in focus here on Relevant Radio, and remember that real reason for the season. Hey, quickly before we let you go as well, Howard, our traditional Thanksgiving location to celebrate is like an hour away from where I live, and we have a long drive home, and our family gets together and stays together for a long time through the evening. So quite often we're driving home just a little after midnight near a really large outlet mall, which some years was open at midnight, and it would just be filled with cars, the giant parking lot, and it looked like, Saturday at 10 a.m. And that's not the case anymore. It's not even open. Are we finding that people are spending either more or less, but spending differently than trying to get to the physical store as soon as we did just a few years ago?
Well, that's an interesting observation. I mean, people are still standing up in line. I know of a family that got up at 5 a.m. to stand in line to get their, this great value. I don't even know what they bought, but you could buy the same stuff online and usually at the same prices. But a lot of retailers are out there selling laptops for $200. And they have 50 per store, and you have to get in there and buy this laptop. And chances are you don't even know what the laptop does or if it's any good, but you see it for $200 and you're going to buy it. So just be careful. I mean, retailers are very smart business people. They're very smart marketers. They're going to get people in. But I will tell you, the real talent out there these days is certainly online. You're going to be hit with every possible advertisement that you can think of and some you can't think of to induce you to spend money. But go through and make a budget, stick to it, and also when the bills come in, pay them off if you can. If you can't, maybe it's time to talk to somebody if you're carrying another debt. And certainly at Debt.com, our certified counselors are more than happy to help you do that.
Well, Howard, we appreciate your insight here as we get rolling with Advent, and of course, part of that, some holiday shopping as well, but to use our good common sense when it comes to that and not spend too many cents, dollars, and hundreds and thousands of dollars, and not hundreds of thousands, or lots of money. So anyway, Debt.com for more. Howard Dvorkin, thanks so much for your time today. We continue with Morning Air, another look at focusing on the real reason for the season, the joy of doing that with family and staying out of debt at the same time.